Hello, boyos. Welcome to the Spoilercast on the Lonercast channel. We're going back to the MCU this week to talk about Captain America: Civil War, because this is the first time we see Tom Holland's Spider-Man in the MCU at all. So in preparation for the movie, we've watched all the Spider-Man. This is the first of the MCU Tom Holland Spider-Mans that we've watched, and then it should lead us right up into the release of the movie as long as we get tickets for it. And
we did. We got
tickets. We did. Okay, tickets are confirmed. We're definitely doing a spoiler cast for No Way Home.
Indeed.
Yeah, so we watched Captain America and Captain America Civil War. I don't know why I keep forgetting the name. Probably because it's not really like a Captain America movie. I guess it kind of is, but it's also like an Iron Man movie.
Yeah. So I mean,
but
it's also
kind of like a Black Panther movie, and it's also kind of like a Bucky movie. Like it's kind of everybody movie.
I would say it's primarily a Captain America movie.
Right, yeah.
And I would say it's equally Captain America and equally Iron Man's movie. But Iron Man is the antagonist of this movie. He's almost like the villain. He's almost like the villain of this movie. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the movie starts with them going back to 1991. Nirvana had just been released. Never mind. Just released, and Bucky killed his parents. Tony Stark's
Nirvana's parents? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Kurt Cobain's parents, yeah.
Wow, Jesus.
That's why he's so depressed.
Oh, that's why he killed himself.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. How do you feel about this movie? What do you think?
You know, on a second watch, I like it, and I think the weakest part of this movie, is the villain, which they just kind of threw in there. But it doesn't bother me a whole lot because he's hardly in the movie.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, we got to have a reason why Iron Man and Captain America would fight. And we just got to throw in Iron Man's family that was dead because of it's a movie about friends and and the hardships of having friends and just friends lying to you or keeping secrets.
It's just like an episode of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Friends. Oh.
It's just about friends.
It's about friends.
Yeah.
I liked it. I
like this movie a lot too. I think it's pretty good. I agree with you. I think the villain is the worst part. In fact, I think it's pretty lame that he's the reason that they start fighting at the end. I think if it was just like Tony realized that on his own and freaked out, because it's almost like, how did the villain know? Zemo. How did Zemo know that Tony would react that way? Because
yeah, and they even bring
up, he was really relying on Tony reacting that way, and there's no fucking way he knew he would react that way. So it would have been better if, like, you know, maybe he did send it to him, and like it could still be like, yeah, I was trying to crush him from the inside. But even that, I just like, I don't like it. I don't like the fact that it's like someone was orchestrating it. I like it better when it's like, this was a natural thing. Like, this just happened, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's better storytelling. If it's just like, this just happened, you know?
Yeah, Bucky's in town. Iron Man learns that Bucky killed his family. And, you know, the weirdest thing in this movie, the biggest plot hole that I found in this movie is the fact that when Zemo is first introduced, he's like interrogating a guy about 1991, trying to find the footage for Iron Man's parents' death.
Yeah.
And what's weird to me is that Zemo had the guy he was interrogating. Zemo found him through leaked files when S.H.I.E.L.D. was Hydra, and it's like, why couldn't Iron Man do this on his own? You know, like if all the
He figured
files
that
were
out.
leaked,
Yeah.
why couldn't he figure it out for himself in the same way that Zemo had? And
But
it feels like they're
maybe
setting up Zemo as a character, like a long-standing villain for the whole series, which we know has already happened in Falcon and Winter Soldier, where he's a much better character.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. It is kind of weird that it's like, yeah, I have a bunch of sciencemen who are able to figure out how to decrypt this data. And it's like, yeah, well, how come they couldn't? Like, you're telling me Hulk and Thor, and Iron Man. Well, Hulk is gone, I guess. But you're telling me that Iron Man couldn't figure this shit out, or like anyone over there?
Have Jarvis do it for him, like
Nick Fury. Like, you're telling me these people can't decrypt this shit, but you can? My only thought is maybe Tony just didn't care. He's just like, I'm Tony Stark. I don't give a fuck about S.H.I.E.L.D. I hated S.H.I.E.L.D. to begin with.
Right.
And he doesn't know how his parents died, right? So, like, he thinks they just died in a car accident, right?
Right, yeah.
So there's no reason he would go snooping anyway. So that makes sense. But the fact that it's like S.H.I.E.L.D. or Nick Fury in particular didn't know, or the government, or Detective Ross, or General Ross, rather.
And apparently Captain America knew, but we don't really see that, or how he knew. He just knew somehow, but he never told Iron Man.
I imagine that was just like an off-screen like conversation that him and Bucky had. Like, hey, I
know why he's pissed. Like,
or
I guess.
Actually, didn't he see it in Winter Soldier when they go to the bunker and the
maybe
I think he saw it, right? When he goes to the bunker with the guy's brain. You remember that?
Yeah.
Didn't he show him like some of that footage or whatever? And he's like, I killed Tony Stark or whatever. I don't know.
Oh, it could have been. Yeah.
So
could have been showing him the Winter Soldier program, and then that was like,
it's been a minute. So it's hard to remember.
Yeah, there's so many movies.
Yeah, and a lot of stuff happens in these movies. Specifically this one. There's so much that happens in this one, and a lot of really cool shit. I will say some of the action seems like a little like choppy and like spliced together, but like the ideas are there, and like the ideas are really cool. Like I love that opening of them. No, I don't want to free up storage space, you fucking computer. Sorry. Yeah, I love that opening scene because as a hardcore DC fan, right? Like I'm a Justice League guy through. I love Marvel too, obviously, but like I like it when a team works really well together. Like I love seeing that shit. Like I love the Justice League cartoon. I remember watching that with one of our friends back in the day, and every time one of them would do something, we'd look at each other and go, God, Flash is so on point in this show, isn't he? And it's just like, these guys are absolutely killing the game. And at the beginning of this movie, we get to see them sort of killing the game. We get to see like Wanda like making Cap like float through the air, and like the fact that they're like all sort of like, you know, communicating with each other, and they're like all on top of their game until the very end when Wanda tries to get rid of the stuff and it blows out the building. But yeah, I love that whole section of movie right there.
Yeah.
You're getting digitized a bit.
I know. I see it, which is why we're talking a lot. I probably still sound a little robotic.
Yeah, you're all right though.
Yeah. There's the scene at the beginning. I fucking love the scene at the beginning. Where they're working together and they're fighting somebody for Red Eye, I guess. They're just like, it's some nuclear bomb that goes off, but it's in a file. Yeah, that's such a cool part that they're working together, and I'm glad that we get to see both of them working together and them fighting against each other. And when they fight against each other in the airport, we also get to see like this movie fucking turns dark. You know, it's like, man, I think this is the moment where Marvel's like, let's get serious now, and let's paralyze Rhodey just cause.
Well,
you know.
I also think it was like almost like an answer to a lot of people were like, man, there was a lot of damage done in like people in real life. Were like, man, there was a lot of damage in Avengers and Marvel never talks about it. And then also Man of Steel. It's like no one ever talks about it. So both of these movies, I want to say Civil War and Batman v Superman came out around the same time, but both of the movies, the beginning of both of those movies kind of have an answer like, hey, no, it is bad. This is bad that it happens,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah. And it's like immediate too. It's like, you were directly involved in killing a bunch of innocent people in a building. So people are pissed, and the judgment has to happen. It's really cool. I kind of wish that there was actually more exposition at some points rather than dealing with Zemo, going back and forth with Zemo and kind of the Winter Soldier thing.
Yeah, I totally agree. Because like I think the best parts of this movie are the stuff between Tony and Steve.
And that brings up another thing before I forget. The whole Winter Soldier thing is kind of irrelevant throughout this whole movie. They bring it up, and like Bucky loses his mind once, and you get the cool scene with fucking Chris Evans holding the fucking helicopter, and that's a freaking cool scene. But that's about it. And then Bucky hits his head like 5 minutes later, and he's fine again. But
oh
Hold
no
on.
I had a recording issue here.
Jesus, what is this show? It runs on tin cans.
What were we saying? Yeah, Winter Soldier stuff.
I'll get into it. I know exactly what I'm talking about. Ready? There's
Yeah.
another one. So the super soldier serum that's in the Winter Soldier program and Captain America is completely useless in this movie. It doesn't need to be brought up at all, but it is a couple of times. Once when Zemo is like, once we learn what Zemo's going for, and then when we get to the end and all of the super soldiers are dead, and it's like, in nowhere does it say Zemo's like obsession with getting rid of the super soldier serum, and like there's no reason for them to even be dealing with more super soldiers. However, I do like the misdirect that they had when it was, oh, Zemo's going for more super soldier people, we got to stop him before he gets there, and then he gets there and they're all dead because he killed them.
The super soldiers.
What did I say?
You just didn't specify. I don't know.
Yeah, the super soldier serum.
He killed the super soldiers.
Yes, he kills all the super soldiers that were on ice from the Winter Soldier project, and we don't learn why. He has a line that's like, "Why would I want more of you?" That's it. That was his whole thing, and I was like, well, "Why does he hate the super soldiers so much?" Well, we don't even fucking know.
The only explanation they give is that he's from Sokovia and his family died because of Sokovia.
Because of Iron Man, though.
Yeah, and that's
specifically Iron Man.
Iron Man, not Captain America. You know, like Captain America had nothing to do with that. So it is sort of like a weak explanation as to why, he acted that way. It is really weird. And then it's also really weird that he ends up working with Bucky in the next movie, or the next time he shows up in the shows. But
right, yeah. It's very strange.
That's why I'm like, this movie, like, it didn't even need a villain. It's like the villain is Tony. You could have had just that stupid side villain at the beginning be the villain that they're like, we have to stop this guy or whatever. But he ends up like blowing himself up and dying in there, which is a pretty striking it's pretty striking imagery, like seeing this dude, like it's, he blows up, but he's also in this bubble, so it almost like takes longer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he instantly blows up, but he's just like, like he's trapped. He can't blow up. He's just, fusioning.
Yeah, it's just sort of it's also just weird that like Senator Ross is like, that's your fault. It's like, bro, that's not even their fault. Like, not even at all.
Yeah, like there was 20 people that died, 30 people that died. If it didn't
blow up there, it would have blown up down at the bottom level and killed everyone down there. Like, that's not their fault. And neither is, what happened in New York.
Yeah.
New York, the only one that really is their fault is Sokovia.
Right.
That really is kind of their fault. That is the Hulk and Iron Man's fault.
Right.
But I do like that they are like, yeah, but look at the Hulk jumping through New York City and destroying the city while he saves the city or whatever.
Right.
It's like, oh, okay. And then they're like, and where are Thor and Hulk? If we misplace 2 nuclear bombs, we get
in trouble.
Yeah, we wouldn't be in power right now. It's like that. Yeah, that's true, I guess. But to be fair, we know where Thor is. He's just back home.
Right. Hulk, on the other hand, he doesn't want to be found anyway. Like,
that man is missing for sure.
Yeah, he's just out there.
Yeah, I like all of this stuff. I love the airport scene, dude. I think the airport scene is so awesome. I guess we should talk about Spider-Man, since like, that's the thing now.
That's kind of the thing that we're doing.
Yeah, I like the introduction of Spider-Man. I like his hot Aunt May, and I like that they make
she's so hot.
They make such a big point of it that she's hot.
She's so uncomfortably hot. Like, it's just like, man, what the fuck? What kind of casting was this? And then it's just like, oh, it's just so that
Tony can hit on her.
Tony can playboy his aunt, and that's like a whole thing. Which I'm really glad that they don't have Uncle Ben in it. That he's not around, and we don't have to relive that again.
They mentioned that he had been Spider-Man already for 6 months.
Right. Yeah.
That does remind me of another point. We'll get back to Spider-Man, but I just want to bring this up real quick before I forget. The fact that Tony is hitting on Aunt May is like, Pepper Potts and him broke up, and that's never really touched on again.
Yeah, you kind of forget about it.
It's almost as if she didn't want to come back. The actor. It's like Gwyneth Paltrow.
That is exactly what it is.
She's like, I don't want to do this shit anymore. And then they're like, hey, we're gonna kill off Tony, and we're gonna make you an Iron Man. So you want to come back? She's like, yeah, I'll come back to be an Iron Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So kind of weird, but anyway, Spider-Man. Yeah, I like the fact that he has to wear these goggles to, like,
that was a cool
block off his thing. So then it explains why he has the like shrinky eyes.
Shrinky eyes. Yeah, he's got the goggles because he explains that all of his senses are at 11, and the goggles help him focus.
Yeah, I love that. And I love that.
We get to see a lot of Spider-Man, like, doing Spider-Man shit in this, and especially the airport scene. He's quippy. He's funny. He's doing Spider-Man moves and like beating people. What?
Sounds like a baby.
Yeah, he does sound like a baby.
Sounds very.
But good. Like, it's really cool when he like grabs Bucky's arm, and he's like, "Oh, you got a cool arm," and just fucking moves it with one hand, and you're like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
it's fucking nuts.
Yeah, I like that scene between the three of them. Like, the three of them have really good chemistry together.
Falcon, Bucky, and Spider-Man,
Yeah, I think the three of them are great. I hope we get to see more interactions between them. Because also, just like the three of them as actors, they all fuck around together, like during press junkets and stuff. And like, I've
really fun. And
you're lagging out again a little bit. Okay, let's just rank it real quick.
What?
Let's just rank it. Let's rank it. All right, I've
All
got
right.
it up on the screen here.
Okay.
We're having technical issues. Of course, Nick sounds great now.
Of course.
Yeah, so let's rank it real quick, and then if we can get you to talk some more, we'll talk a little bit more about it. But let's rank it before you die out completely.
Okay, I think it should go at number 7.
At number 7, so above Winter Soldier.
Above Winter Soldier.
Interesting. Let me read the list real quick here. So at number 1, we've got Loki. At number 2, we've got Iron Man. At number 3, we've got Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings. At number 4, we've got Guardians of the Galaxy. At number 5, we've got WandaVision. At number 6, we've got Eternals. At number 7, we've got Captain America and the Winter Soldier. At number 8, we've got Captain America, the First Avenger. At number 9, we've got Ant-Man. At number 10, we've got the Avengers. At number 11, we've got Black Widow. At number 12, we've got Falcon and the Winter Soldier. At number 13, we've got Iron Man 3. At 14, we've got Avengers Age of Ultron. At 15, we've got Iron Man 2. At 16, we've got Incredible Hulk. At 17, we've got Thor, The Dark World. At 18, we've got Thor. I'm going to agree with you, dude. I think it's fine there.
No shit.
Yeah.
No shit. Really?
The more I think about it, I was like, I think it goes below Winter Soldier. I still might think that, but the more I think about it, I'm just like, this movie's so epic. It's able to juggle so many things and still be a good movie.
That's what I was thinking. And it doesn't have that awkward like end scene that Winter Soldier has.
What's the... Oh, right. Yeah, where it gets all...
It just gets all weird. It's like, why? This didn't need to happen. It gets so Avengers. It gets so Marvel.
Yeah, and that's the crazy thing about this movie, dude, is this movie has all the Avengers in it, but it's such a personal story. It's not like the entire world is at risk here. It's just like two buds are fighting. And, the Hulk says it best in Endgame when the Hulk comes back and he's like, where's Steve? And he's like, oh, we kind of like broke up. And he's like, what, like a band? That is how it feels. It's like it's a band breaking up, the band is breaking up. And I like it. I think the biggest downfall of this movie is the villain and maybe some of the choppy action bits. But besides that, I think, it's really good because I think Tony is a very good villain. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's been a villain the entire time. He's a villain.
Yeah, you're breaking up again.
Yep.
I just want to point this out before we end this. Normally we'll do fun facts or whatever, but we're probably not going to do that this time. But I want to bring up T'Challa and Black Panther. This was the first time we saw Black Panther as well, and I think he's awesome, dude. I think he's really cool. I love that scene where it's him, Bucky, and Steve just like running along the roads, and they're like running faster than the cars. That was always such a striking image for me. I remember that being like, oh, these guys are like super fucking strong and shit. Like I always like that. And yeah, Chadwick Boseman, fantastic. They couldn't have cast anyone better, I don't think.
Yeah, he's fantastic. He's really good. His accent is beautiful. It's not very it's African, but it's like its own thing. Mm-hmm. It's like very something different, and I like it.
I wonder like what. I wonder what kind of like training he did for that accent.
I'm sure it has like African influences. Well, it definitely has African influences.
I would love to like look that up and see like what he did for that and like how he decided to use that specific accent.
Mm-hmm.
But I have no idea.
But
I
like this movie.
His suit is awesome.
Yeah.
I do wonder, like, so between the time of his dad dying and that scene where he's going after Captain America. Well, he's going after Bucky because he thinks Bucky killed his dad. So between that time is when he became Black Panther, or was he already Black Panther?
I think he was already Black Panther. I think his dad was the king, and he was Black Panther, and he was like just the best warrior, right?
I guess I'll have to rewatch. Well, we're going to have to rewatch Black Panther because I don't remember. Like, I thought if you were king, you were Black Panther. I guess.
I mean, can you imagine his old ass dad being Black Panther?
Yeah, true, but like, yeah, I guess I don't remember how the rules work.
I feel like you'd have to. I haven't seen Black Panther, so I figure like once you get to a certain age, you kind of want to give the crown to somebody else, pass the torch. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was great though. I also like the fact that there's like the big turn at the end where it's like, oh, you didn't try killing my dad. Well, in that case, come live with us. You know?
Yeah, for sure. We're gonna heal you like Star Wars in the back to tubes. Also, Ant-Man was funny in this movie too.
Oh yeah, Ant-Man was in this movie. I kind of forgot.
Yeah, he turned fucking huge.
Oh, I wanted to mention as well. I mentioned this to you. I think Clint and Natasha should have switched sides. Like they should have been each other's parts. Like Clint should have been on Iron Man's side because Clint has always been a military guy and he has always followed. You know, he worked for SHIELD and like that's who he is. You know,
I'd agree with you. And the only information that I have that would make me think otherwise is that the fact that Black Widow was kind of saved by like government, I guess, by SHIELD. So I feel like she has more faith in the system than.
But she Clint was also there when it fell.
Right. Well, so was Clint, though.
He wasn't in that movie, though.
Well, yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
And
then how would she have, well, I guess they're kind of the same. I was going to say, how would she have stopped Vision?
She could have used her electric thingies.
Yeah, she probably has some like electric fucking things instead of
I think
arrow.
That would have been like a really well needed at the time. You know, obviously Hawkeye's getting his own thing now, but at the time, Hawkeye was sort of an underdeveloped character, and it would have been really cool if that was him being like, I'm going to regret this, you know? And then he's like, go ahead, Cap. Like, and he's like, I got to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Because
that's true.
It just makes, it doesn't make sense for his character to be like, I'm going to betray the law when I have a wife and kids, you know? Like, it just is weird to me. And Tony brings that up too, and I'm sort of like, yeah, what are you doing, Clint? Like, why are you here? Why are you doing this?
Yeah, and then in Black Widow, Black Widow breaks them out along with Cap.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, yeah, and that could have been Hawkeye breaking them out.
Well, it could have been Hawkeye in prison at the end, but because
you're right,
gave it up.
Yeah,
you know,
you're right. Yeah.
That would have been pretty interesting. It's like he didn't want to do that, but then he ended up in prison anyway because he let Cap go.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know. I always thought that would have been.
How was she not in prison? Because after that fight, everybody goes to prison who was against them. How did she avoid that?
I guess they were just like, oh, we'll let it slide.
We'll let it slide. You literally let them get away because you stopped T'Challa from capturing them, but we'll let it slide. Everybody else though can go to prison.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, I'm looking at these 8 fun facts about Captain America: Civil War. These are the worst fun facts I've ever seen. A new Spider-Man makes his debut. Yeah, no shit.
Okay, the day before filming a fight scene with Robert Downey Jr., Sebastian Stan sent him a video of himself doing intense bicep curls in front of the decapitated head of an Iron Man suit. He attached the message, "Looking forward to our shoot tomorrow."
Wow, that is funny. Coincides with 75th anniversary. That's fun. The film coincides with the 75th anniversary of Captain America. 2016 also marks the 10th anniversary of the original Civil War comic book and Black Panther's 50th anniversary.
Wow.
T'Challa had a much smaller role in the earlier drafts and did not even appear in costume, as the writers intended to put more focus on Spider-Man and save Black Panther's origin for his own movie. However, when it looked like Marvel would not be getting permission to use Spider-Man, Black Panther's role was beefed up significantly. By the time they did get to use Spider-Man, T'Challa had already become so integral to the plot that they decided to leave his role as it is and give Spider-Man a smaller part.
Huh. I think that was a good call.
Yeah. No, he's so important to the plot. Like his dad dying and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tony Stark remarks how attractive Aunt May is, Marissa Tomei. Downey and Tomei actually had a relationship in the 1990s.
No shit.
And appeared in 2 other films together, Chaplin in 1992 and Only You in 1994.
Weird.
In the film, the Falcon utilizes a Falcon drone called Red Wing. In the mainstream Marvel comics, Red Wing is an actual Falcon.
Huh. That's fun. That's a fun fact.
Yeah. Co-director Joe Russo said that the most powerful shot of the film was Steve Rogers stopping a helicopter from taking off with his bare hands. The shot was even featured in the first teaser trailer for the film. Russo said Chris Evans worked very hard in the gym to physically embody the character because they wanted to test the limits of Steve's physical strength. About the shot itself, he noted, on set we had Chris straining against a crane holding the helicopter to get this fantastic shot of his muscles bulging, and you can feel the energy and determination as he tries to stop it.
Jeez. I don't like that word, bulging.
Oh, here's that. Tom Holland is the youngest person to portray Spider-Man Peter Parker on screen at 19 years old. He was 19. Yep.
During the airport fight scene, a truck has a Bluth family logo.
Yeah.
It is the same portable staircase for an airplane that was the subject of many running jokes on Arrested Development. The Russo brothers, the directors of this movie, also directed the pilot and many other episodes of Arrested Development. That's pretty funny. I didn't know that.
When Steve and Bucky remember going on a double date in Brooklyn when they were younger, the captain mentions Bucky's date was a red-haired named Dolores with the nickname Dot. That description fits with one of Peggy Carter's nemesis from Agent Carter, Dottie Underwood, who also exploited as a weapon by the Soviets.
Huh.
Hope Van Dyne was going to become the Wasp in an earlier draft of the script, but she was removed due to concerns that reducing her role to a cameo alongside the other characters would be a disservice to her as a character. The fact that Evangeline Lilly was pregnant at the time also probably influenced the decision.
Some of these are getting real bad now. Like, this movie marks the beginning of Phase 3 in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's like, yeah, okay.
Chris Evans injured his arm muscles while filming the iconic shot of Captain America holding back the helicopter.
I heard about that, actually.
That shot is a little bit of bicep porn. Zoom in on the biceps. That's what the script even said.
Wow.
Kevin Feige didn't airbrush my biceps. That's all me. It's not a utilitarian shot. It's a shot where you're trying to look heroic. Yeah.
Daniel Bruhl, Zemo, dubbed himself in the German dubbing of the movie.
Oh, cool.
It was cool.
Yeah, well, I that's it. That's all the fun facts I've got.
That's it. Yep.
It's kind of different format of how we do the show, but I think that's the end of the show.
It kind of worked. We're gonna have to cut this. We have to go on the cutting room floor, but
I'll chop it up tonight.